Ridiculous questions.
Meticulously debated.
This is Tell Me I'm Wrong.
Well, I was happy just last night. I've been losing sight, sighting all the falling fights. What is this if this ain't right? Back again, the monster rights. Losing life until that night. Life never let him lie. Light is mine, my past is right.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tell Me I'm Wrong. I am your host tonight, Lord Dreidel.
Ryan, we stepped all over each other.
We usually just kind of feel it out, but you go first, Mr. Ballard.
Okay, well, I want to be a gentleman, so let me introduce my good pal, my fellow debater, Ryan Story. He will be with us today.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And I will also introduce my fellow debater, because this is going to be a very gentlemanly debate, and that is Mr. Josh Ballard.
I like to say that was absolutely terrible. Like, I hated hearing every second of that. And also, when you said I want to introduce my friendly debater, I was hoping Josh was just going to introduce himself.
Now, Joe, I'm sorry you don't appreciate civility in your debates, but Ryan and I have a healthy respect for each other that we like to demonstrate on the podcast because it is a positive thing for the world. Now, I have a question for you. You said your name was Lord Dreidel. Raiden?
No.
What was
so
it?
Raiden is a different character. That's the quarterback in season 2 of
Raiden's a gas, I think.
It is a gas. I have a Raiden kit on my house, but there's also a character named Raiden Randell.
Wait, hold on, time out. Am I supposed to have a Raiden kit on my house?
You should, yes.
Yeah.
It is a requirement by code now to have a Raiden kit for older homes built before 1997, I think. You have to get it installed. It's about $5,000.
Damn. I'm sure I have one. I'll ask my dad. He maintains this house. I don't.
You should have a big white column of PVC pipe up out the back of your house somewhere. That's a Raiden kit. All it does is scrub the air because Raiden comes from concrete that they made in the past, and if you breathe it a lot over time, long periods, it can cause cancer. But I don't know why we're talking about this on our podcast.
Because you named yourself Lord Raiden.
No, Raiden. Raiden Randell is a character from season 2 of Blue Mountain State. Raiden is a character from Mortal Kombat. So, okay, before we get too further, I have to just tell you all something.
Okay.
So I was listening to our last episode of the podcast, the Josh Wedding Extravaganza, the Ordained Chili Peppers. Are great. If you haven't heard it, go listen. I won. And Josh said his Instagram handle, and finally I'd had enough. Boys, I've changed my Instagram name.
What?
You did? We're going live right now to the Instagram.
All right, listeners at home, they're both currently picking up their phone, opening the Instagram app, and seeing how quickly they can search me.
Oh, there it is. Joe.Robinson87.
Joe.Robinson87. Was Joe Robinson
name.
without the dot 87 taken?
It was taken. Joe Robinson 24 was taken. I tried a bunch. I still struggle with
why
it.
24? Joe, why 24?
Because my date of birth is the 24th.
His date of birth is 24th.
That's true. I should know.
I tried 12, 24, and 87. Those all made sense.
What was your first pet's name?
Well, technically, Ari is my first pet.
Perfect.
Really?
Yeah, we never had dogs growing up. We played sports too much. My parents always said it would be too much to take care of them, so we never had pets. I take that back. My sisters had a cat. That my grandmother's the cat lady, just so y'all know, at the end of the street. She literally lives at the end of the street and keeps stray cats. But she brought a kitten home one time, my sisters did. And I came home from school one night and there was blood everywhere in our house. It literally looks like a horror movie. I found the cat under our couch. I guess at some point throughout the day, it jumped off the stairs and bit its own tongue. And its tongue got stuck on its incisor, its pointy teeth. And then
why are you telling us this?
Spent the whole day trying to work its tongue off and almost ripped its own tongue off and bled all over our house. So after that happened, we never got another pet. My dad was like, we're done. Nope, we're done.
What in the world?
It was a crazy experience for us. My mom was just like, oh my gosh, what happened? I was like, obviously someone died.
How did we get from Instagram handles to a bloody cat?
Well, Josh asked about first pet.
Well, I was just trying to get into your bank account, but somehow we ended up here. I think this is a record for the farthest off topic we have gotten this quickly.
It was definitely like the quickest. Like the rabbit hole was just a straight down hole. Like we just went straight down to the bottom immediately.
It was a well, if nothing else.
Yeah, it was a rabbit well.
And we just dived headfirst in. So, no. But yes, I did change my Instagram handle. So if you're not following, make sure you go follow. I post maybe once a month, so it's not an exciting follow. But hey, everyone needs followers. So today, listeners, we are now 7 minutes and 10 seconds into the podcast, roughly. No, that's not true because I had 2 bad intros. We are now about 5 minutes into the podcast. And so today we decided that I'm going to give the boys another adventure. We had our superhero adventure. What was that debate about? I did Blade. Josh did.
Joe, what were any of the debates about? What is any of this?
I was trying to think the premise of it, why we did that, because we did something. I know I had Blade.
I think I just wanted to try to throw you guys off, and I was picking. Oh, we were picking action heroes because we didn't want Josh to win.
And then it was the action heroes spelling bee.
Yes, yeah, that's what it was.
All right, so here's what we're doing. As you all probably know, probably not. I'm a huge nerd. Some of you may out there know. There was a new Mortal Kombat movie that came out recently last month. It's pretty good, not great. It's good. I actually watched it 3 different times because I honestly could not decide how I felt about it.
Okay, time out. So this movie wasn't good. Now, listeners, let me preface. 2 months prior to this movie coming out, Joe was pitching Mortal Kombat topics.
I think he started pitching last year.
I love the games and the old movie. Just FYI, like it's nostalgia for me.
And then the movie comes out, and Joe sees it, and he's like, "Did anybody else watch Mortal Kombat?" Me and Ryan are like, "Of course not. We did not watch this movie." Joe was like, "It was fine." And then now we find out that you've watched it 3 times.
Well, here's the thing. I would watch it, and then while I was watching it, I was like, this is fun. I think I like this movie. And then I would go to sleep, and I'd wake up the next day, and I'd wake up and I'm like, that movie really wasn't good. But I was like, but I liked it when I watched it. So I'd watch it again, seeing if I felt the same way. And after the 3rd viewing, I was like, I just think it's okay.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that thinks about movies that way.
Oh, I do.
They're like, oh, now that I've thought about it, it doesn't sound as good. Let me try again.
In high school, they would play games where they would literally give me a situation of some sort, and I could relate it to a movie. No matter what the situation was, I could find a movie where it was in it.
I think that's. I mean, most listeners of this podcast probably know that as well, because you will make obscure references to movies, and Josh and I will just be completely oblivious.
So a new movie came out. It's okay. It was made to literally make a sequel. They want to make the next movie. They had to make this one first to get there.
How many times are you going to watch the sequel? 6?
Probably. I'll probably watch the new one again before it goes off HBO
I'm sure
Max.
You will.
But they've never seen it.
Not only have we never seen it, I've never played the game. I've never seen any form of media about Mortal Kombat. I have seen Mortal Kombat adjacent things where it's like mentioned, or like there's like some cultural osmosis there where I like know very, very limited things.
Here's the extent to which I know Mortal Kombat. Finish him.
And there's, fatality, flawless victory. And then there's also the Mortal Kombat. And he just yelled that a lot. But that was the only game my mom ever questioned me owning growing up. Because
that's a good questioning
bloody.
From a mother.
You literally like rip people's heads off. But so I thought since you all know nothing about the people, the characters, or anything in it, it would make total sense for you to give me backstory on why those people are the way they are. So I'm going to pick 2 characters from the new movie. There's only about 10 total in the movie, so that's going to really limit my pool. But I'm going to pick 2 characters from the new movie, and you all have to give me the backstory. Now, there's 2 characters in Mortal Kombat I feel like are most well known: Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Sub-Zero can like blow ice out of his hands, and Scorpion has like a dagger on a rope, and he grabs you and yanks you over. That would be too easy.
Now, maybe I'm hearing this wrong. Did you say Sub-Zero or Sub-Zero?
Sub-Zero.
Okay.
When the movie came out, I had a tweet that I thought would be really funny, but no one else, I guess, got it, that I was going to enter Mortal Kombat, and instead of my name Sub-Zero, my name was going to be Frigidaire.
I'm glad you're workshopping your failed tweets on our podcast.
I mean, I'm trying to I was like, maybe I'll start posting more. And then I think one person liked it, and it may have been Josh. And I was like, maybe I won't post more.
I just like all my friends' tweets because I'm a good friend. Except for Ryan's. Screw Ryan's tweets.
Yeah, screw Rice Store. All right. So I'm going to pick a good good person that fights for the Earth realm, and then a bad person that fights for it's outworld. It's another realm. It's where it's kind of like purgatory or hell. So, let's see. I'm gonna think of a number 1 through 10. I've got my hands put up.
This is great podcast material.
Josh, what's your number?
I don't know, man. 6.
Ryan?
9.
Nice.
7. So Josh is the closest. So Josh, you get to pick
there
good or bad.
Based on me and Ryan picking 6 and 9, I think we're both the winners. Let me go with this is a tough one because there's good and bad. This is very tough. Give me the bad one.
Okay. I should actually, Ryan would have made more sense to be the bad, but he want to know that. So, all right. Your bad character's name is Kano.
Kano. All right.
Kano.
This is a real character.
It is a real character. He's been in, he was in the original movie in 1995, and he's also a character in the new movie.
Okay. Noted.
So, Ryan.
Okay.
You are obviously going to be one of the good guys.
Obviously.
So I'm going to give you the character of Kung Lao.
Kung Lao. Kunglao?
That's correct.
All right. Kung Lao. What does he do?
His main power is he wears a metal, straw hat, very wide brim hat, but it's made of metal, and he's able to control the hat and do different things. So he can throw the hat like Oddjob from James Bond and cut your head off.
Okay.
So his main kill in the new movie is the hat. He throws the hat and it comes back like a boomerang, but it turns up vertical and chops someone in half.
All right.
I'm sorry. No, it gets stuck in the ground and the woman slides into it and it literally chops her in half like a meat chopper. Like you're slicing roast beef.
Okay. Does physics exist in the Mortal Kombat world?
And we're going to go to that later. Each of these fighters develop a special skill. They're picked by the gods of the different realms, and they develop.
Wait, there are gods.
There are gods. There's elemental gods: water, fire, wind, stuff like that. And they're given
Buddha, Jesus Christ. The usual.
They pick a different. They get what they get. They develop what's called an arcana. An arcana is your special ability. So, for reference sake, Sub-Zero's arcana would be he's able to control ice.
Tell me about Kano here.
So, Kano is, I'll give you this. He is Australian in descent.
Ooh.
And his main arcana is he's able to shoot like lasers out of one of his eyes. He has a red eye, which I almost thought about giving Ryan because as you see, Josh, on Ryan's screen, his microphone light is basically on his eye. And it makes him look like Kano. He's a red dot on his top of his microphone. And he looks like Kano.
Well, the listeners don't know this, but Ryan is currently in what looks like a jail cell recording.
It does.
He had to move.
Literally, I've seen news clippings of COVID court trials, and Ryan looks like he's at his COVID court case right now. They brought him in this room for his court appearance, and that's it.
Ryan's child, who isn't here yet, hasn't even bothered to show up, has already kicked him out of his recording space and has had a detrimental effect on this podcast. So we are.
It actually has improved my audio significantly. So this room is better treated
significantly.
Yeah.
But Kano. Let's see. Kano is let's say he has. He's a criminal background.
Okay.
And Kung Lao is a fighter from birth, basically. He was.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
Well, they all have a tattoo. They somehow get a tattoo, and that's how they're identified as fighters. And it's the Mortal Kombat logo.
What's his tattoo?
It's all the same. It's it's like a dragon logo in a circle. And so
dragon tattoo.
That's very good of them to be on brand with the video
most of them
game.
don't even know what it is. It looks like a birthmark.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So let's obviously start with the good. So Ryan, tell us about Kung Lao.
So tell me a little bit about what you're looking for, because I am a dungeon master at heart. So if you need me to build an entire world and an entire existence around this Kung Lao, I can do that.
So what it is Kung Lao and the rest of the fighters from the Earth realm are going to go and face the fighters from the Outworld. They have 10 Mortal Kombat championships in a row. If Outworld wins 10...
Listen, That's great.
No, I'm telling you.
What do you?
Yeah, I'm getting there.
No, that's good. That's good. But I want you to tell me what you want me to do.
I'm telling you that.
What do you want me to give you?
I'm telling you.
Okay.
If Outworld wins 10 in a row, they get to take over Earth. This is the 10th tournament. So they're trying to beat the World Fighters. So we are at this tournament. I need you to give me the background of how Kung Lao got to this tournament. Like, did he just show up randomly, or was he born and raised for this? Have you ever seen A Knight's Tale with Heath Ledger?
Yes.
You know how Paul Bettany's character makes up all these stories? Yes. That's you. You are building this character. You are the hype man of a prize fighter.
Herald.
Yes. You are a prize fighter hype man. So you all have to come and get the crowd juiced for this epic battle between Kung Lao and Kano, which never actually happens.
Okay. Well, he was chosen very early on. His tattoo, his mark appeared when he was just a young boy in school. He was learning about becoming a farmer. Just like his family, they were all farmers, and so that was actually the way that he started honing his metal hat abilities, was because he always wore a hat when he was out in the field, and so one day he realized, I bet this hat could really fly really far, and so while he's out in the field, he's got his tools. He and his buddy, they actually start throwing the hat back and forth. And then as he's throwing it back and forth, he starts to, they start to get, a little competitive, a little bit aggressive. And then all of a sudden he throws it a little bit hard and he slices his friend's finger off. So this scares him. He's like, oh no, what have I done? And this is when the tattoo appears. He's around 8 or 9 years old. He's still in school, still learning some things, but the tattoo appears and he has injured his friend. But at the same time, he's received this call that he is going to be a great gladiator in the Mortal Kombat battle.
Savior of Earth.
That's right.
Okay. I have to figure out at some point how I tell you their actual stories went, but we'll get there. So I like this. So
I don't think we ever learn.
His farming.
we just go.
I like that the idea that he's working in a field out in the hot summer sun wearing a metal hat.
Oh, it's not metal yet. This is just a hat that he's learning.
So he slices
how to throw. It's not metal yet.
He slices his fingers off with a straw hat.
Yes, that's how powerful he is.
Wow, that's some straw, buddy.
Listen, it's Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
It's not pinky finger combat.
Well, he doesn't have a pinky finger anyway, so he wouldn't qualify. So, all right, Josh, tell me about Kano.
So Kano had a little bit of a different backstory. So he grew up in Australia and was just in a very poor area. His family really struggled getting by. In particular, he lived with his mother and several of his grandparents and just spent a lot of time with them. So he has a lot of good family ties, and they were just really trying to get by. And so he would always do this thing where he would work odd jobs to try to save enough money to get something that he truly loved. And he would run down to the store real quick and he would buy that thing. And one day when he bought it, he was opening up the packaging and he found a golden ticket inside of his chocolate bar. And when he found this golden ticket, he was like, what is this? What is this dragon thing on it? And the most terrifying part of his whole story and what really started him down a bad path was the owner of the shop started singing a song and branded his arm with this logo and said, now you're part of the Outworld.
So was his favorite thing chocolate bars?
Yeah.
Okay. So he bought a chocolate bar and found I'm just trying to make sure I understand this full story. He bought a chocolate bar, found a golden ticket on the inside, was happy he found his golden ticket. Did he know the golden ticket was possibly in there?
Well, yeah, there had been rumors going around that something really cool was going on with the chocolate. So he was really trying to get that.
Who can take the sunrise?
When he found the chocolate bar, the owner of the store just picks up a piece of hot iron and brands him with the same logo.
Yeah, that's the worst part about it.
That's a surprise twist.
Yeah, he had the actual metal iron with the logo on it, just chilling in the hot fudge. And so he just branded him with the hot fudge iron.
Oh, so there's so much in this.
That's how he stirs the hot fudge.
What does this owner of the store do with the hot fudge branding iron when he's not sticking kids in the back?
He sticks it back in the hot fudge and stirs it. What are you talking about?
How old is Kano when this happens?
Kano, when this happened, was probably about 12 years old.
You know, I could see how you could become a bad guy if Candyman branded you.
Well, what you just said. There was a lot going on in that sentence you just said.
The Candyman Brand.
That works. The iambic pentameter's there. It works.
Man, the image that you painted, Josh.
I'm just. I don't know if I'm disgusted or slightly excited for this. Okay.
Listen, you didn't give us a lot of info, so I'm just working off of what I know about Kano.
No, I love this. I love it.
You can get mad at me if you want.
Let me ask you, let's move on to the next question before we go to the moderator's office. What is their fighting style? Where did they learn how to fight? Is there are they just grapplers? Are they kung fu? Are they whatever? What is their fighting style, Josh? Let's go back to you.
So Kano's fighting style was bred over a number of years. His family's naturally fighters. They're a very powerful bunch that raised him, to be strong and powerful and almost like a king among the folks in their village. He was just really powerful. And so eventually it got to the point where he was growing up and his uncle killed his father by just tossing him over a cliff. And so when that happened, it really changed Kano, and he ran off and had to just live a tough life. He made some friends. He grew up. He went out into the I'm sorry. Hey, Ryan, you're interrupting my story about Kano.
We're gonna have to pay some licenses for all the intellectual properties we're using right now.
This is fully original, Joe.
Oh, my bad.
So he went out into the jungle and he made some friends, and they actually helped raise him from his adolescence up until he was an adult. And then he came back and was just ready to kick ass.
Did they really help him embrace that, you can't worry too much about life?
Yeah. And really,
I feel like that's a good focus for a fighter.
Yeah, that's the thing is he had a really unique background for a bad guy. Is that ultimately, if you hear his story, you're like, that should have been a good guy. He should have been a great example. But just after all these things happening between the branding by the Candyman, the poverty his family had, inheriting a fortune after getting branded, and then his father getting killed by his uncle, and having to raise himself in the jungle, he had to make a choice at a certain point, and he went the wrong way. So
let me ask you the question again. What is his fighting style?
Very powerful, strong, four-legged.
So he's a brawler. Would you say something like that? That's what I'm looking for. Okay, you just told me why he ran away.
No, I'm just telling you how he developed his fighting style.
We're just trying to build the character here.
So he's a brawler. He's a fighter. He's using strength and power over anything else.
Absolutely.
He's taking the hits.
Okay. All right, Ryan, tell me about Kung Lao. How does he fight?
All right, Mr. Kung Lao, Mr. Metal Wide Hat Metal Man. It's a little bit of the opposite story for him. He was the strong protector of his family farm. So when there were bigger animals that would come and threaten the family or threaten their farm and their other livestock and things, he was the one who had to protect them and protect the family. So his style is that of judo, jujitsu. He's always fighting things that are bigger than him. So he is using the strength of whatever he's fighting against it. So he's a very intelligent fighter, and he has really become a sort of protector ever since that incident where he sliced his friend's finger off, because ever since then he realizes the power that he has, and with great power comes great restraint. And so because of that, he has really decided to become a protector of people. And sometimes even in the middle of fights, like he might even have like a quick quip to kind of like break the tension and stuff like that. So he zips around, he tries to use the other person's weight against him.
Well, that's good. I mean, the human fighters from Earth, they are considered the protectors of the realms. So that makes more sense when he's a protector background. Another thing that came to my mind, I don't know if y'all ever hear, but there's a attorney that's in Eastern Kentucky, and he has radio shows all the time, and he'll come on and go, I invented judo law. That's where I use my opponent's weakness against him.
Yes, he does.
But he says judo in like the most like generic, I invented judo law. And it's awful. I don't know his name, but anyways, it's great. And that's
Gary Johnson.
Gary Johnson. That's what made me think of it when you said that. I was like, judo law.
I can't say judo without thinking of that commercial.
Make the right call when you make the call. Okay.
I invented the concept of judo law.
Judo law. Yeah, it's got like 4 extra syllables in it. That's great.
Judo.
So we're gonna go to the.
I'm not participating. I don't want my fiance to kick my ass.
That's true.
We all know her fighting style. That's just beating the ever loving crap out of Josh, no matter what.
It's true.
Josh, how'd it go over when she asked about if she gets to pick any songs for the wedding? How'd that conversation go?
Oh, she knows. She knows.
Like, what if she said, I want this one song? Are you going to allow her to have one song?
Depends on the song. He has to approve it.
But you don't like it. Let's say you don't like it. Like, let's say she comes on and she's like, I want to have this one Pistol Annie's and Blake Shelton song on the playlist. It's just my favorite song in the world. Are you going to allow it? You going to tell her no for one song?
Well, I believe that the man is the spiritual leader of the household, and as that, I've got to step in and guide
Ladies
us on
and
the right
gentlemen,
path.
this has been Tell Me I'm Wrong. This will be our last episode because one of our co-hosts will be murdered tonight in Mortal Kombat. The Mortal Kombat will be his mortal wife, future wife, will kill him, and he will no longer be able to compete. So,
at least I have a mortal wife.
Future wife.
All right, let's go to the mod office and we'll do some chit chat in there, and then we'll get back to this. I got some more questions I want to ask you.
All we've done is chit chat.
That's true. So let's go to the mod office. Just real quick, want to say thanks for everybody for tuning in this week. I know it's a kind of a weird episode, really abstract, but these are fun to do sometimes. I just want to remind you all, you can go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at TMIWpod. Go ahead, reach out to us there. DM us if you have any questions, you want to have a topic idea, or if you want to educate these boys on who really Mortal Kombat characters are. You can also make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, all that. Rate us, review us 5 stars if you can. That helps us to kind of move up in the charts, get the podcast in front of more eyes, which can help us grow more, which would be great. Last thing is, tell a friend, like, just, if you have a favorite episode, like, if you have a friend who's into Mortal Kombat, Apostle, and 3 stupid idiot guys talking about Mortal Kombat who know nothing about Mortal Kombat, send them this show. Let them know we may have something for them. And lastly, but not least, if you have anyone out there who may be looking for some extra representation, looking for some extra advertisement, like we're looking for advertisers, anyone out there wants it, feel free to contact us. We can definitely work something up for you. Like, yeah, it'd be great to make money, but really we are in it to help people like grow themselves. Like, we want to grow ourselves and we want to help our friends in our community grow. So if you have someone out there that is looking for something like that, reach out to us. We will do whatever we can to help out because a lot of people have helped us in the past. So real quick, at TMIWpod, find us on all the Instagrams, socials, everywhere out there, TMIWpod.com. And let's get back to this debate. Okay, let's get back to the live action. Live action! Was that Turtle Man who said that? I think it was Turtle Man.
Sure.
I got 2 questions for you all.
Turtle Man. Turtle Man is from a bygone era of the internet.
Yeah, after he was fake, everybody really tuned out. So let's talk about something that I know is going to be really near and dear to Josh's heart. Ring gear. What are these fighters fighting in? Like, how do they, when they go to their match at Mortal Kombat, which is usually in like a sand pit area, what are they wearing to the match? Ryan, let's start back with you.
Okay. So this was always so I was never a big fighting game guy, but this is always my favorite part of the fighting game was you're in the creation screen and you get to pick what they're going to wear because you can just make them look ridiculous and, like doing moves in stuff and whatever. Like, I don't know. I've watched, if anybody has watched Monster Factory, like the Soul Calibur stuff that the brothers did was fantastic. So this is like my ideal situation. So we got Kung Lao. Obviously, he has his giant metal wide-brimmed hat. Now, I think in this iteration of Kung Lao, it is going to be almost comically large. Like, not just your typical, like, out to the shoulders. Like, we're talking, like, it's going to be, like, about 3 feet
like
on each
giant
side.
sombrero large?
Yeah, like, yes, exactly. Like giant sombrero at a Mexican restaurant. That is how large we're talking.
Like, it's your birthday.
Yeah, so like you actually can't even see his face like that. It's kind of intimidating. Like it covers his whole, like basically all the way down to his shoulders. Then he has two pieces of fabric that kind of just cross on his chest, and then that also girds his loins. So it turns into like a sumo situation on the lower half. So he's very, very tied together, all very wrapped up because he's got to do the judo stuff. So he can't have anything getting in the way except for that hat.
Okay, I've got 2 questions.
He's also barefoot.
Question 1.
Yeah,
just throw that in at the end there. That's a big thing.
When you described his girded loins and crisscrossed fabric, it made me think of Borat when he wears that bikini that comes over his. So is that what it is? He's got a banana hammock with straps that goes over his shoulders?
No, it's. I mean, it kind of, and in a little bit more regal form. It's wide brimmed
You would definitely
across the
want
chest,
more regal banana hammocks.
and then it sort of wraps around his waist and loin area.
Okay, question 2. Describe.
I'm just seeing how many times I can say the word loin.
I'm here for it. Describe the hat. Is it painted? Is it chrome? Is it like a beaten metal, like it's been worked?
Yeah. So here's the thing about the hat. The hat is where he draws his power. Like this is his thing.
That's his arcana.
And so, yes, that's right. The arcana. That's the word that I knew. So the important thing is this hat has family history. So as he continues to use it, it grows.
Oh, so it's like Pinocchio's nose. He lies. If he kills someone, the hat gets bigger.
Yeah. So as he
every
uses
kill,
it
the
grows.
hat expands.
Yes. So by this point, it's huge, and everybody's like, "Oh snap!" Like he has really killed some people, and so it is like a tarnished, almost like when you see like really old metal barn roofs that are like a little rusty. It's not super.
So it's
fine,
unpainted metal.
Unpainted metal, untreated. Like it looks like he has worn it for 30 years.
Is the edge like razor edge sharp or kind of dull so it hurts more when he chops you?
I think it's actually jagged.
Oh, like serrated.
Yeah.
That's going to be rough putting on and taking off. Just if you grab it in the wrong spot, buddy. He's got bloody hands.
Yeah, he actually grabs it underneath and he like pulls it off like that.
Okay. Okay. Where does he store this hat if he goes out to a restaurant?
Doesn't take it off. Nope.
So if you're sitting, you do not want to sit on the same side of the booth as Kung Lao.
Exactly. Yeah, he usually gets a table to himself. He's been participating in social distancing for a good long while.
Forever. Okay, so we got Kung Lao in a beaten patinaed metal hat that's 3 foot in diameter, and I'm sorry, 3 foot in diameter or 3 foot radius on each side.
3 foot radius.
So it's 6 feet in diameter.
6 feet in diameter.
So his hat is larger than me. And he's wearing a banana hammock with no shoes. We got that. Josh, can you tell me what his opponent's going to look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So Kano here. So obviously I was telling you about his tough upbringing. So while he was out in the jungle, he came across this group of folks that really kind of helped raise him. And he became part of their community. And so while he was there, that's actually when he discovered the laser eye that he had. And so they were amazed by this. It could be used for all sorts of stuff, cutting down trees, whatever. They were able to make good use out of it.
So it's like the James Bond watch. He's got the laser. He can cut the floor out and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so they all were trying to convince him. They're like, hey, we got the thing for you. So they gave him some goggles. So he always wore 2 goggles, and that helped focus in the laser while he was learning how to use it. Now, as part of this uniform and what he still wears, he really identifies with this group of folks he met in the jungle. And so he actually wears the same thing that they do, which is blue overalls. So he has goggles, blue overalls, and then he dyed his skin yellow.
He's a minion.
Oh, okay. I was like, I wasn't clicking there. No, I got it. Okay, I got it. That makes more sense.
Me last night.
I was literally first when you said goggles and he had a laser vision, I was thinking of Cyclops from X-Men because he wears goggles and has laser vision.
So he really embraced their community, learned their language, the whole 9 yards. Just really was tied into what they were doing.
How tall is this individual?
Well, see, that's the thing is he's like 6'2". So the folks he was spending time with are real short. So he was like just a king to them.
Okay. No, that's why he fought for them because he's the only one that could, I guess.
Yeah, but ironically, they're the ones that turned him bad. So, double-edged sword. Community doing bad things.
So watching his own father get thrown off a cliff didn't turn him bad, but a group of short men wearing blue overalls
and also
goggles.
being branded by the Candyman.
Yeah, exactly. So branded by the Candyman, lost his father because of his uncle, and then. He just look, he's had a hard time. You just need to cut him a break is all I'm saying.
He has. All right. So I've got 2 more things I want to ask you. The first one is their arcana. I know we've talked about like their power with Kung Lao's power with his helmet and Kano's ability to shoot lasers out of his eyes. What is another power they may have that I don't know about, or their other finishing move, like how they, once their opponent is done, how they finish them, like fatality? Like, what is their go-to end move to complete the game, complete the match?
Okay, so we got Kung Lao, we got the giant hat,
giant hat,
giant 6-foot hat. So I think it would be a shame to waste the hat and not use it in the finishing move. So I think what is going to happen is he is actually going to turn himself into a bit of a drill, and he was going to stand on his head with the point of the hat on the person's chest, and he's just going to spin until the hat drills straight through the person into the ground.
Okay, so the hat he has comes to a point.
Yes,
okay.
It is a sharp point. Yeah.
Okay. What is the name of that finishing move?
And that is called the Dreidel.
Okay, so the Dreidel. He literally drills into his opponent's chest head first.
Yes.
Okay.
He also has one more move.
Oh,
so that's the finishing move.
He's got an alternate.
So this is. This is his alternate move. Is he actually just takes the edge of the hat that he knows this one part that's not jagged, and he literally just flips it over and knocks the person in the head, and then puts his hat back on.
So the point, like he's standing beside him, shoulder to shoulder.
Yep.
He flips
and he
it,
just goes,
and the point
boom.
just basically impales them.
Yeah, just impales him, and then he puts it right back on his. So he literally, the only thing that moves is his arm. He just goes dink, and then puts his hat back on.
He must have some freaking large biceps to swing a 6-foot hat that way.
Exactly. He and this hat have a special relationship.
His legs, toothpicks, arms. He's freaking Arnold.
It's all about getting the right momentum.
Okay, is there a name for that one?
The doink.
The doink. I have to write that down. So you have the dreidel and the doink. There's a lot of D's in this. All right, Josh, wow me.
Couple moves that he has are pretty unconventional. After being exiled from his clan that he joined up with in the jungle, he returned home. And upon returning home, his family just could not accept him anymore. He was too different. He just didn't fit in with everybody. So they exiled him to a tower nearby. He actually lived in what was almost like a castle out there because he was so different from everybody else. And so one of his his best moves is to intimidate people, but also win their love at the same time with how beastly he is, with how charming he is, and with how they think that they can change him. So he draws them in with that, promising to become somebody else with true love's kiss and a magical rose. Now, what they don't know is that also the reason he got exiled out to the tower is because he learned ice powers from Sub-Zero.
Oh, twist.
So he's able to make an ice kingdom. And so he actually has a sister that they were real close growing up, but they got separated. And so, ultimately he uses this power of freezing things for bad, much like Sub-Zero. But he's able to melt it with his laser eye, and maybe eventually he might melt you because of his compassion and charm.
So if he wanted to be a good guy, he could really just create endless amounts of water for people.
Yeah, because he could freeze it and then melt it.
He could freeze it and then just melt it with his laser eye.
Yeah, that's part of his redemption story, but that's an arc we're going to get to probably later.
That's when you get to Kano origins.
Yeah.
So here's my question. What? So are these two moves done in tandem? Like he draws them in with his emotional,
his guile.
He allows himself to be emotionally available to his opponent, and then he freezes them to death.
He took some of his friends. Now he did get exiled from that clan in the jungle, but he actually took a few of them with him, and he dressed them up in costumes to kind of like make it seem like they were just part of the house. So one was like a teacup, one was a clock, things like that, the little yellow guys. And so they would just dance around, and he became really good at doing it, just a killer waltz. And so people would just fall in love with him, and then he would freeze them.
What's the name of this move?
And then melt them, and then freeze them, and then melt them, and then freeze them, and then melt them.
Will he do this? Two questions. Will these moves ever be done separately? Like, can he do one and not the other, or are they together? And what is the name?
He can freeze people anytime, but like it's like a spider, you got to get them in the web before you kill them.
Okay, and the name?
The name of the move?
Yeah, the two moves in tandem with each other, the waltzing to the freezing.
Yeah, so the first one's called True Love's Kiss. And then the second one is called Olaf.
That may have been a bit on the money there, a bit on the nose.
I just like that name. I don't know what the problem is.
In summer, I finally watched Frozen for the first time this year.
I've never seen that
first time.
I have a 3-year-old, so I have to watch a bunch of crap. Okay. So usually what we would do here is I would go through this big deliberation, but that's lame. Yep. We've done that 54 times now.
Yeah.
So I want you all to deliberate. I need you to give me your call to the ring, be the best hype man, and give me a concise 2-minute explanation, whatever the character from A Knight's Tale is, when he does it for Sir Ulrich von Liechtenstein.
Jeff.
Yeah, whatever. That Paul Bettany's character, the Herald. Give me that call. He's standing 6'6", 245 pounds, hailing from a castle in the hill because he killed his clan. Whatever it is, I need you to give me that, and I will decide from that and the rest of the information. So let's see. Let's go with Ryan first. And I extra points for bravado and selling it. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mortal Kombat.
Ooh, I like using the name.
You are here, and you are privileged to be in the presence of one of Earth's great protectors. Kung Lao, from his humble beginnings in the Jiangxin province as a farmer. He has made his way, growing his hat with every battle. It continues, and today he is going to vanquish his opponent. Not only is he going to control the battle, but he is going to win. And he is going to need your support. So cheer with hearty bellows and welcome Kung Lao, the Wide Hat Warrior.
All right, Mr. Ballard 13.
From his humble upbringing
movie trailer
among
voice.
the peasants to his time spent in the jungle, Kano has learned to persevere and to thrive. Now, as he has come down from his tower to fight for the outworld, we are honored to celebrate him as the Holiday Cheermeister and to root him on as he faces the ultimate villain of the story, the true villain. You may believe he is good, but Kano will prove he is wrong with a quick freeze and a blast of heat from his all-seeing eyes. Give it up for Kano.
Okay, all right. Those are both really good. This is a tough one because they're both just terrible. Like, not even close, but I really like
thought they
them.
were good.
No, I like these backgrounds just compared to what they actually are. It's just so...
No, mine had a rich history.
Yours did have I'm talking about from the real storyline. No, I actually think I'd rather watch these characters than in the original
Mortal
characters.
Kombat would be happy to have us.
You would have watched that movie 6 times.
You're right. I would have at least. What it boils down to is, which character would I cheer for? I think that's the one that I have to go. And there's two things that are really making it hard for me to pick, because on one hand, I have a gentleman with a 6-foot diameter hat. Like, I'm interested in watching just how he moves. Like, the hat is going to make him so top heavy, it's got to be hard to walk. And his neck has to be so fat just to hold that hat up all the time. Like, you wouldn't even be able to tell where his head starts and his shoulders begin, because he'll just be straight neck the entire. I have a fat neck and mine would look skinny next to that guy. Then you have Kano. I don't know what Kano is. He's good one minute, he's bad one minute. I'd be sitting there trying to figure out what the heck's going on. His uncle died, or his dad died because his uncle killed him, but then he went out and joined some short people in the woods who wear overalls. What a story. Who else could have that kind of a story? He kisses people, which is weird, and then freezes them, which is even weirder. But when it comes down to it, the sizzle sells the steak. And I think I'd have to cheer for Kano.
Yes! Yes!
I really thought I had that one.
Nope.
I don't know. I couldn't decide how. Like, I know your guy's good.
Kano is all over the place. I feel like I picked a direction, and I picked
Rich
a direction.
backstory.
And I just
He
went
is all
with
over
it.
the place, which I think is partially why I want to cheer for him, because I'm like, who's he going to be tonight? He's like, it's like watching someone with multiple personalities that's a fighter, and each personality is a different fighter. I don't know who's going to show up.
Here's where you went wrong, Ryan. And this is a lesson that everybody should learn.
Tell me.
Good artists create, great artists steal. That's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll be back again next week with another banger. Thank you to Isle of 8 for the use of our theme song, Jean Jacket. So please check them out. Listen to Jean Jacket on repeat. It's the greatest song ever.
What a peppy outro by Ryan. That was great.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at TMIWPod. We're also you can find us on Spotify, iTunes. I think we're on what other?
Just look at your podcatchers.
We're on anything out there we really have on there, I think, except for iHeart maybe. But you can also find us on YouTube if you need to listen that way. But make sure whatever you're doing, you're subscribing. And if there's an ability, rate us 5 stars. That really helps us more than anything else. And then tell a friend. Like, that just helps us grow with people who may never find us otherwise. So if you could do that, that'd be the best thing for us.
And while you're online, head over to tmiwpod.com. While you're on there, you can see all sorts of good stuff. We got merchandise. We've got ways for you to listen to the show. We've got ways for you to connect with us, learn about us, all that good stuff. Head over there and check that out. And also, while you're on there, we just added a new feature. It is a tab. We are cracking open the Disney Vault so you can learn about Kano's backstory. All of the videos and movies about Kano's backstory are available on VHS, with the exception of a couple new ones that are on DVD. But you can get those over there at tmiwpod.com. So check that out.
Straight from Joe's collection himself. Thank you, everybody, for listening. As always, there is one winner, but we're all losers. Later, losers.
See ya.
Finish him. Finish him.